the last time I didn't bring a tripod to the racetrack was the 2024 Food City 500. So I'm thinking might be a correlation here onto maybe Devin Kupka needs to not bring his tripod to the racetrack anymore, and we'll get some phenomenal tire wear at the track.
Yeah. Tires, baby. I thought that was going to stick on my face. It didn't. Look, it was. Look, what did we say? We said people were predicting that it wouldn't really happen, but they also didn't know. And Zane Smith told us right before the race he was seeing cording on his tires, like you see the ones right there to my right, after 75 laps. Instead, Devin, we saw it between 30 and 40 laps, and it flipped the whole script here. And who went to victory lane?
It was Christopher Bell, who, by the way, his first win since Phoenix in March.
Yeah.
He was burning the house down. I mean, burning NASCAR down back early in the month. Remember, he won the NASCAR Cup Series race at Echo Park Speedway earlier in the year.
Then Coda.
Yeah. Then Phoenix. And he's just been kind of silent since then, but he picked up his first win since March. And, you got to be honest, though, that thing picks up after a while, because that's been 20 races or so since we've had the Phoenix Spring race.
Although he reminded us, or actually his crew chief Adam Stevens reminded us that they did win the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro.
That's true.
That's still 16 races ago. I think he said it was 16 races ago, and of course it was even more than that since he pulled off 3 in a row. And that's the thing, is you never know when the wins are going to stop. But Bell only led, I think it was 12 laps tonight, and he finished in that first position there. But here's the deal. We have Brad Keselowski chasing him down. Oh, yeah, just like predicted. Zane Smith was third. He was on my end of pit road. They had a series of 2-tire stops, but he was up in the top 10 most of the race. And then Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano, who everybody threw dirt on because he struggles at Bristol now. Well, this being a tire race and also him being out of tires at the end had him stand up front and stand out. So, Devin, what did you think about what we saw? And are we not surprised?
I said in the pre-race video, I said it's going to depend on the tire temperatures, but no guarantees that we're going to get phenomenal racing tonight. But it turned out for sure. And I mean, this is probably one of the best races of the season. Quaker State 400 available. We've been a part of some of the best races this season, by the way. Quaker State 400 available at Walmart at Echo Park Speedway. The Daytona race a few weeks ago. So we've been a part of some good races. But overall tonight, I mean, just talk about how good of a race this was. Tire wear, lead changes. By the way, the NASCAR playoff system added to the excitement of this race.
Well, particularly with the driver that
Alex Bowman, Austin Cindric, fire on the right side. We saw a lot of right front fires.
Yeah.
And it seems like the Ford fire issue is back.
It's just a Ford fire issue?
Well, if you look at the Gen 7 car, look at all the fires that have happened, 97% of them, 98% of them have been Fords.
That's okay.
And it's been the past 2 or so years, that issue's been mostly resolved. But tonight you had the tire build up, the marbles on the track. That's what influenced the fires. But we had one fire in a Chevrolet, I believe, tonight. But the massive fires were in Fords. Austin Cindric and Josh Berry.
Well, there were a couple of fires too. Chad Pincham had he's in Ford, but anyway, there were the fires. But then also Chase Elliott got contact. It was kind of a stack up on the racetrack. Contact for John Hunter Nemechek. And then Elliott told me on Colossus TV and on PRN, by the way, that he overcorrected after getting hit the wall. He was done. And only by the hair on his chinny chin chin did he make it to the round of 12. Remember, he entered these playoffs with not a ton of playoff points, only the one win and maybe one stage win, and then where he finished at the points. Austin Cindric was not breathing so well there with the fact that he had his car catch fire, but he continued the race with his cockpit full of smoke. A very tense evening there. There was a point where Alex Bowman spun out, but then he rallied and looked like he might win the race. So yeah, it was all over the place. And unfortunately for Shane Van Gisbergen, never had the car hooked up under him. He was out. Josh Berry also had a fire issue and was out of the race early.
What a brutal 3-race stretch for Josh Berry. Three in a row of last place finishes. That just Oh,
And
you got to feel for him.
but when he gets out of his race car and he's had inhaled smoke and was in a dicey situation, all you can think about is, are you okay? As the haulers leave the racetrack there as we approach 1 a.m. So we're gonna have a lot to discuss with Dan Elliott. I think the one thing is it seems like people like this, but it's so random about if you know you're going to get it or not. The teams would love to get their hands on us. Instead, it was stressful because they don't know from pit stop to pit stop how the tire's going to react.
No, they didn't, and that's really what caused a big race. Now there was talk that they did a tire test here in the summer last year, and they were able to recreate what happened tonight and what happened in the Food City 500 last year. But I think
it didn't work for last year's.
No, it didn't. It didn't work for the last two races. So now it's up to Goodyear to bring something like this ahead of time and maybe get it dialed in for the temperatures. I don't know if they're able to do that or not, but I think what we saw tonight, great racing and really redemptified a lot of things.
Redemptified, huh? Because redeemed is the word, and that's how late it is. He just said redemptified, okay?
I make up words. I add to the dictionary.
Devon.
I'm Devon. Call me Devon the philosopher now.
Yeah, Devon the philosopher. No, but there's going to be a ton to discuss at 5 to go. We'd love for you to tune in on that. But a big-time race here. I think there is a section of fans that it's like, what, my driver's tires are just falling apart, and you can't really predict it, and it feels like a roulette wheel. But, as I was listening to team radios, and I know you were, Devin, the story is the ones that can manage their tires and last longer on them gave their crew chiefs flexibility to have a fresh set of tires at the end of this race. And looky-doo, who was up there? Christopher Bell ran a set of scuffed tires mid-race, fell way back of the lead lap, came back and won this thing. And Brad Keselowski, I talked to him post-race, gave him a shot in the shorts there on the last lap, tried to room him out of the way. Keselowski had even better, newer tires. Didn't work out. He was very dejected, and I asked him on PRN, hey, were you trying to rattle Christopher Bell's cage a little bit, a la Earnhardt? And he goes, it's Bristol, baby. He was P2.
Yeah, quick recap here. 14 cautions, most since 2020, since the additional, or it might have been the Food City 500 then.
Yeah.
During COVID. And
yeah, that was a wild race.
You had a lot of lead changes tonight. Great race here at Bristol. Recap things here. Playoffs, you have them up on the screen right now. Predicted early in the week, pretty much the drivers that were under the cut line, they actually did not advance. So that was Bowman, SVG, Austin Dillon, Josh Berry. None of them advanced. But I would say real quickly, out of the drivers that are below the cut line, if you pull it, looking up at the playoff standings right now, Chase Elliott, I'm a little concerned for him. And I know I'm not supposed to put a lot of opinionated things, save it for the podcast, but I'm a little concerned about Chase Elliott going into the round of 12, excuse me. So hovering right under that cut line tonight for the round of to get into the round of 8. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen at New Hampshire, Kansas, and the Roval.
Well, interesting to see is always the thing us pundits say when something's forthcoming there. But it's true. He doesn't have a lot to lean on. And looking at the list, I was looking like neither does Chase Briscoe actually, right?
They're hot though.
No, they're hot, but I'm saying there's not a lot to lean on if something goes wrong. And that the Gibbs cars are on a heater. They've swept the round one. I don't know if we said that yet or not. The Toyotas are obviously hooked up. Ty Gibbs almost won his first career race, was the best car tonight. But drivers don't have a lot of playoff points. When you have a night like this where something could go wrong, like it did for Chase, he almost didn't make the cut. And he almost lost out to his teammate winning. So, again, a lot to cover on 5 to go here. Would love to know what you think about it. Let us know. We're thankful you tuned in.
Yeah. Stay tuned. 5 to go YouTube page, 5 to go podcast, YouTube and Facebook page, and catch us later this week for everything Bristol, and we'll preview the round of 12 in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs.
It is a new week.
Fun weekend. This is my last weekend as a media member at the track for the rest of the season, so we'll be back really covering things till sometime in February when NASCAR season gets started.
Devin just told y'all never tune in again until he goes to the racetrack. So there you go. No,
I'll be at 2 more races. That should be around 2 more races this year, but it'll be on the grandstand side of things. So
it'll be good. I'll be at the Roval. So thank you all for tuning in. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all the likes. If you like it, give it a comment and a sub, and give us some stars or whatever. I don't know. But for Devin, I'm Doug, and for Dan, who we know will have a lot to say about this week. Thanks for tuning in to 5 Go.